Hey everyone, it's Josh. I haven't made a video in a while. My microphone in my computer was just really shoddy and really crappy. So I got this random little one underneath me on eBay, and it seems to work a little better. So I'm hoping that I could actually hear this when I try to upload it. I was going to originally make a video, a lot of different updates, but I want to focus a little bit on the STPs and Packers. I got an order for an STP that was the medium size, the 5.5 inch, and I got it in the mail, the Packer itself, yesterday. It's a little bigger than I had expected, so I want to just go ahead and kind of show you guys the sizes, and kind of my personal feedback on it a little bit. There's 3 different sizes. There's a 3.5, a 5.5, and a 6.5, or like 3, 5.5, and 6. Basically 3, 5, and 6. Come in 3 different colors. Vanilla, which is light. You have, I think it's a coffee or something, which is still light. And then you have caramel, which is the one that I happen to have here. The order that I had received was for caramel, so that's the one I have on hand. The 3.5 inch is, I think it's the most practical for STP purposes. When a biological man is completely flaccid, and at a urinal, they're only about that length anyway. Anything much longer or much more obvious, I personally feel to be a safety issue sometimes. If you're at a bathroom where there's no dividers in the urinals, it's much easier to pass with a little nub coming out of your pants compared to, a garden hose. I say this because I was the victim of an assault at a urinal when I first transitioned. So I don't want that to happen to anyone else. Luckily, I'm strong enough to make it out of that, but I don't want it to be any worse for anybody else, if that makes sense. But this is the 3.5 size Packer, and it looks tiny in my hands because it is. The ball part is bigger than the other sizes. This is the color. This is the darkest color that they come in, which, if you can see, I'm pretty dark, so that matches my skin tone decently. There's another Packer up there. It's the GV Soft Pack that comes in a darker shade, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's so black that it's like purple. It's completely unnatural. It's kind of the color of an eggplant, so it's not anything I would really suggest in a passable sense anyway. But this is the 3.5 inch. Now with these, it's a little more easy, I guess, to maneuver when it's this small. Plus, and the bulge isn't terrible. The bulge isn't anything that's super. You can either pack down or up, whichever you prefer. That's a 3.5. Now the medium size, which is what kind of shocked Renee and I last night when we opened the box, is this. That's super large. Now the balls on this one aren't nearly as bulbous as the others, smaller one. They're the same size, the same shade. This one I've just already cornstarched to prepare for making the STP, so it's easier for me to handle. This one I haven't washed in cornstarch yet. That's why it's a little bit lighter. I can't seem to wrangle all my penises. That's why it's a little bit lighter in shade. This one's already been cornstarched. But if you notice, the bottom part isn't as bulbous, I guess. Whatever. So this is really big for an STP wise. There is no, and I'm going to say no confidently, biological men that have this size penis flaccid. It's just really uncomfortably big. I understand wanting to have something that I'll make them. If you want them this size and you order them, I'll make them. I ain't got no problem making them. I think it's just something I wanted you to see the size. And there's a size above this, which is another inch longer. So we're talking like down here, which I would never recommend. I'll make it. You want it, I'll make it. But I'm just saying I don't think it's a feasible size. But whatever. So this is the size of the medium. Now remember, with tubing inside, it's not going to lay this limp without tubing. With tubing inside, it's going to come up at a little bit more of an angle with the tubing in there. So you have to factor that in. Now the STPs that I started making, I'm really a hygienic person. I'm super germophobic. So I was looking for an alternative to latex because latex is porous. So I'm looking for something that's not not porous, and you don't get a lot of UTIs with. So the one that I've started making, now keep in mind, I use vinyl tubing, which is clear vinyl, which I'm going to show you now, and I use latex as well. This is the 3.5-inch STP with vinyl tubing. The main difference, hold on, my phone's ringing. The main difference with this, it's all in my face, compared to latex is just that it's stiff. Now it's still flexible, like it's not like you have a piece of glass in your drawers, but it's stiff, so it allows for one-hand operation. If you were to do this with latex tubing, it would be bent and kinked, and there would be a breach of the flow. There's several ways to pack this. I think the best way to do so is to pack down. Now, if any of you have ever gone and been fitted for a suit or a tuxedo as a man, they'll ask you to which side do you dress, which means basically which side do you put your dick on. Because biomen pack to either the right or left. So if you pack to the right or left with this, so let's say you're packing to the left, you probably can't, whatever. So you're packing to the left, so you've got the packer over to the side. This tubing will fit up in the crease between your leg and your groin. So it'll go up that body. So you don't need to keep this down between your legs in all of our sensitive parts. But I will, with this size, I definitely, you can request the vinyl, which is the hard, or the latex, which is the softer, the one that everyone's used to. I just like this because, like I said, it's one-handed. You don't have to worry about it kinking as much as you do the other. Plus, this vinyl tubing is non-porous, so it's not going to get gross smelling. It's not going to retain bacteria. You can boil it. So if you were to take the mechanism out of the packer, which you could just pull the tubing out. With the travel mate, you could just boil the whole thing. Or sanitize it separately, where it's totally... I just get sick really easy, so I always think of the ways to make things as less germy as possible. With the bigger sizes, as a default, I'm going to make them with latex tubing, just because they're so big. If you want the hard vinyl tubing, or the stiffer vinyl tubing, I'll make it. I'm just telling you, you're going to have a giant boner all the time. And that's something that I really would recommend. Now I had someone that bought one of these, the size with the tubing, that said that you can make it into a play device. I would suggest, if you were to do that, and if you had this tubing, it would, I just want to say it would be kind of comfortable. Just put a condom over it so you don't have a chance of this coming out and hurting your partner. But I assume it could be stiff enough for intercourse. Obviously, if it's not going to, bend and fall over. So, I guess that's a plus to having the harder tubing. I just like it for the sanitary and the one-handedness. Let me see what else. I'm also flexible when it comes to the catchers. When it comes to this particular one is a travel mate spoon. I have a travel mate that I cut the band off and then adhesed it with glue and caulking to the tubing. I'm flexible with the catchers. Everybody's different. Every single person's body is different. So for me to say I'm only going to sell these with travel mates is not feasible and not helping out the community. So if you have a catcher, as a default, they'll be made with travel mates. If you have a catcher that works better for you, if you want it to be made with, a baby bottle nipple, which a lot of guys really appreciate that, or you want it to be made with one of those whiz funnel systems, just tell me. If it costs more than the travel mate, it may be a little bit more expensive. I may have to go ahead and just bring the price up just to match the expense in purchasing a whiz or whatever compared to a travel mate. But it's only going to be by a few bucks. So basically it's customizable. So when you make your order for your packer or for your STP, you could basically decide if you want obviously which color or what kind of tubing and what kind of catcher. So you can mix and match. You can have the vinyl tubing with the baby bottle, you can have the latex tubing with the spoon. Whatever you want, I'll be more than happy to make and pass on to you. So that's that with the STPs. Also, if you have anything that you've decided works really well for you that you'd want to try, if you want to say, well, listen, why don't you send me the spoon? but would you mind sending me the Wiz too, just to see which one works better? If you want to pay a little bit extra for me to buy both products, I'll definitely do that as well. They all come with between 10 and 20 little alcohol wipes. I always suggest cleaning whatever receptacle you use, because it's urine coming out of your body. You don't want to keep putting that to your body. You want to clean that in between uses, or at least every other use if you're in a situation where it's not safe to do so. That's pretty much it. When it comes to the Packers, I'm working with a good friend of mine who actually owns a company that does like t-shirts and pens and travel mugs, and I'll be working with her pretty closely over the next couple of weeks or months to make up some fluid merchandise to go ahead and sell on our website, like t-shirts, hats, travel mugs. If there's anything that you like that has Fluid's logo or any logos that you'd like to see, holler at me. We'll go ahead and get with our vendor and see if we can make that happen for you. So that's pretty much that. That's pretty much the whole point of the video, was just to go over the Packers and the different sizes. I wanted you to see the sizes before you make a decision on what size you're wanting to order. I hope this finds everyone well. Now that I have a working microphone, I look forward to making videos at least 2 or 3 times a month on different topics. If you have anything that you want to see as a topic for a video, let me know. I'll be more than happy to make one. I hope this finds everyone well, that you're all blessed and favored. Namaste.